Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new video. Today, it'll be the Disventure Camp All-Stars Episode 9 trailer analysis. Before this begins, a few things to note. First off, the background footage is not owned by me, it is owned by Odd Nation Cartoons. This is also just my personal analysis, opinions. If you have different ones, it's completely fine. In my videos, I do sections to maintain organization and simplicity. The sections for this video are trailer analysis, who's going next? Conclusion. Without any further delays, this video will begin with the first section, trailer analysis.
You think saying you're gay is something huge? Look what show we're on.
For this, I'll be going from cyan team to the yellow team, then the magenta team, and finally production. Starting with the scene, as it had the graphic to where it shows the day and team, in this case, cyan team and day 17. Reminds me a bit of Survivor. Here, we can see Aiden and Tom looking for some supplies, together with Tess coming up with a bucket of water. Tess comes to talk to the two, likely starting off by talking about the supplies, how successful they were at finding the things necessary for camp, etc., but shifting to where and how Gabby has been. Tom and Aiden wouldn't really know, with Tess deciding to check up on her later soon. Going back to camp, Aiden and Tom are probably discussing relationships. Tom is probably lying more about his boyfriend, can't wait to see how bad his lies are this time, but is also shown to be teasing Aiden about himself and James, with Aiden jokingly saying to stop it. Guess this is just leading to them bonding more? Going to Tess and Gabby. Tess looks like she was trying to reason with Gabby and or comforting her, saying it had to happen for Ellie's good. It being Ellie's elimination, Gabby wouldn't be having this, as shown, because she gets pretty mad at Tess, pointing at her, with Tess being a bit taken aback. Given how much of a grudge Gabby held for Dan, Tess ain't gonna be let off by Gabby that fast. Though, if Gabby is actually going to go on her villain arc, I am hoping she knows to not reveal her intentions, because then she could work under the shadows. Not only would that be so cool to watch, but it would make her a bigger threat. If she just exposes the fact she wants revenge, like here, she's screwing herself over and won't be able to win for her and Ellie. Nevertheless, this scene may imply how Gabby's first target of revenge could be Tess, though I'm still leaning towards Aiden. More on that later though, as the next scene shows Alec, Rhea, Gret all sunbathing by the beach, likely around their main camp. Gret is probably bringing up y'all, or something along that. With Alec making a remark about him not in a positive sense, then Gret gets a bit defensive, leading to the Rhea and Gret interaction as shown. I feel like Rhea would be telling Gret how bad of a person y'all is, or rather, how much of a brat y'all is, can be giving her a bit of advice in that margin. I think it would have some strategic merit to try and get Gret on Alec and Rhea's side. Gret would immediately dismiss this, but it would give her that thought in the back of her mind that maybe y'all doesn't care and never did. It'll allow her arc to have a slight turning point and allow Rhea to show a bit of her good side is still somewhere there. Despite her having different motivations, it would be actual decent advice, like what she gave in early season 2. In any case, I'm pretty excited to see this interaction. Going to magenta, Jake and Ashley are talking. Jake is probably talking about Tom somehow, because of course he is, but I also feel like Ashley would be telling Jake to stop fighting with a lie so the two could get along. Jake would be saddened as he feels his one best friend is slipping away to a lie. A lie would then come in, with Ashley happy to see her, Jake not so much. To production, Trevor is going up to Emily, questioning how she got a picnic here. Emily would annoyingly tell him how, asking what he needed. Trevor would reveal the truth, with Emily being like not shocked, though I thought Trevor was bi, maybe I was wrong there? Anyway, he is probably asking for some more advice in terms of showing Derek he cares, which Emily gives to him as she would view this as some entertainment or something along that line. Going to Cyan, Aiden is comforting Tom. Maybe something happened between Tom and Jake to where he's crying about it? The only other thing that could be it is he's lying about his boyfriend breaking up with him, but I don't he'd go that far on the lie. This scene definitely intrigues me the most to see what caused this. Still, it's cool to see Aiden comforting Tom as Tom comforted Aiden originally. Going to Gabby, Gabby is probably missing Ellie. As her eyes turn to extreme sadness, quickly she goes back to the focus, going to find the yellow team's camp to offer herself to join the alliance, which leads to the yellow team thinking about Gabby's offer, accepting it as shown by other evidence later on in the trailer. Plus, I think the villains aren't stupid enough to decline Gabby's offer. They could think she isn't genuine, but they are done for even if this was true, so better to take the risk. This leads to the challenge, which seemed like a mix of most of the previous challenges. First off, the swimsuit curse has returned as this is another water challenge. Speaking of, it seems like they need to slip and slide, get a ball to throw into a target of sorts. In order to gain points for their team, the two teams with the most points win immunity while the team with the least goes to tribal council. Yo looks pretty annoyed with this challenge because this is yo we're talking about. Following scene shows Rhea angry at somebody. Considering how Ashley did a motion that could signify a very dark end, I'm supposing it's her, given some expressions. Later in the challenge and also here, as well as the fact the past two eliminations have both been Villain Alliance members, maybe the Magenta and Cyan team are meant to work together to get Yellow team to lose, so that more of the Villain Alliance could head home. I don't think it would work, however I think it would explain a few things later on in the trailer. Speaking of which, the next scene shows Ashley giving Jake a look of sorts to not fight with allies, suggestion to which he gives the thumbs up and Ashley looks proud. This furthers the original theory I had about how Ashley talked to Jake about how he was talking to a lie. A lie here is just flat out confused with whatever she suggested being approved by Jake, but just learns to go along with it. Going into the first round of this challenge, it is shown to have Jake, Gret, and Aiden. Aiden looks so unsure, while Jake looks somewhat determined, but none compared to Gret's determination, which allows her to snag first place in this round and shoot her shot as Jake and Aiden fall a bit behind, yet are still running to finish the challenge. Moving on to the next round of the challenge, we have Gret going again determined as ever, with Tom and Ashley also prepared. The camera zooms into Ashley, who is talking about her plans, just making a few nabs remarks. Tom responds, so maybe some Ashley and Tom interactions, sign me up. Also, just simply doing the challenge to the best of his ability. We then have Gret, who likely used these nabs whatever was being stated as her strength, managing to gain first place yet again. Even if it's for a short period, it allows Gret to finally get the extra focus she deserves. The following scene shows Gabby probably suggesting for Aiden to go, then she has a moment of realization. This is what convinces me that the Villain Alliance accepted her offer and is now working with her. Another scene later proves this too. She probably in this moment realized she needed to go to help out the Villain Alliance and also to show she is a team player and is willing to help out, as she is shown to be very eager to go after this. To me, she wouldn't not only be so pushy and wouldn't have such a strong realization unless it was something related to the Villain Alliance or something big like the Villain Alliance. This scene showcases not only how Magenta and Cyan are working with one another as the determined way Gabby and Ally look at one another implies that to me, as well as showing that Ally and Gabby are doing well in the challenge. Following this, we see the first time Tess has actually gotten angry. Given how Gabby is going against Ally, how she is now in her revenge era, how she is helping out the Villain Alliance, she probably sabotaged Ally, which Tess noticed and called out instantly. Going back to Gabby for a second, she feels guilt for what she did. But right then, she recalls the betrayal Tess made and would point that out to her, justifying what she did from that and or denying it while defending herself. Gabby then manages to get to the end with a frustrated Alec there as she shoots her shot, ready as ever. Moving on to Tom and Jake, Tom likely tries to talk to Jake, wishing him some luck, with Jake being more focused on the challenge at hand and or Tom just not being a good communicator. Like at all, since he isn't shown mad, I don't think Jake figured out the fake boyfriend thing yet, meaning this plot is never ending. Going to the actual challenge, Jake gets so determined that he shoots his shot a bit early, which does not succeed for him. To the end of the slip and slide, we see he'll actually getting first place, Tom following close behind and Jake just being sad about what he lost. And that ends this section. Moving on to the next, who's going next?
You think saying you're gay is something huge. Look what show we're on.
Starting from Cyan team, I'm thinking it's either Aiden or Tess, leaning towards Aiden. Tom needs to learn communication and be exposed, therefore he stays. If Gabby gets eliminated right after Ellie, that will somehow be a bigger waste of potential than Rhea, plus they did not keep Gabby for 8 episodes just to eliminate her the first time she gets relevance. Test-wise, given how much Gabby seems to be her enemy, Gabby could easily get Tom to vote for her, and it's not like Aiden will fight that much. It's $3 million, the two aren't even in an alliance, plus he's gotta do what it takes to win. Even if a tie happens, Gabby is beating Tess any day so. Though, I feel Tess has some extra potential plus still needs to support the others. So I think Aiden is more likely. All he has is this love triangle which his role can end soon. He can figure out what happened between Jake and James, be angry and head out. There's no need to keep him much longer if he isn't going to have an arc or just stick in the Jake and Tom plot. Plus, Gabby could still target him, given how mad she was originally telling him to shut up. Plus, Aiden was the person who, in her mind, should have gone home, but didn't. Don't know how she'd managed to get Tom to vote for him, but I think it's still in the realm of possibilities. And again, in a tie, Gabby destroys Aiden, so Aiden could still go there. Moving on to Magenta, Eli ain't surviving. Ashley may be sad, but Ashley does not break promises, plus she's known Jake for longer at this point and would be more loyal to him. For now, if we're talking story, I'd say Ashley more so, but I don't know how on earth she could go out unless the first game twist appears. On to Yellow, I'd say they are probably immune, but if I had to choose, I'd say Yul. It all depends on what Gret decides, how slow burn this arc really is. In any case, with this section finished, the final section of the video can begin, the conclusion.
You think saying you're gay is something huge. Look what show we're on.
What are your thoughts, theories on this trailer? Who do you think is getting eliminated this episode? I would love to hear in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you again on the channel. Have an awesome day, night.